going on YouTube? My name is Acky3001, or Acky for short, and I am one of the players that have recently been sponsored by Persona Gaming, and I have a gameplay commentary for you guys today. First of all, I'd like to thank all the members of Persona Gaming for choosing me to become a sponsored player, and I'm going to do my best to bring you guys the best tips and tricks that I know of for Modern Warfare 2. So here I'm playing some domination on Afghan using the intervention. And right off the bat, I do something pretty stupid. I decide I'm going to have a little more fun this game and rush their spawn. I don't do this the rest of the game because I decide that's not really a great idea if you want to have a good kill-death ratio. So that gets me killed. I would not suggest doing that. It's not going to help you out in the long run, and you will likely struggle to go positive unless you're a ridiculously good sniper. So here somehow they managed to capture our original spawn point, which was A. So I was trying to find that guy, he gets killed. So now I've decided that I'm going to be a little more tactical. And I'm going to play the way that a sniper really should, which is supporting my teammates and hanging back a bit and picking guys off long range, which is really the main idea of what you're supposed to do when you're sniping. So trying to find the guys, not having much luck, but my perk setup, I'm using the standard sniper setup, which I use almost every time. Experience the crappy host migration. This never seems to work. My perks are Sleight of Hand Pro, which lets you scope in faster and reload more quickly, which is very important when you're sniping, especially if you're going to be quick scoping. That's because your scope comes up about twice as fast, and of course, quick scoping, you need to be quick. Stopping Power Pro is my second perk. You can never go wrong with Stopping Power, because if you want to get consistent one-hit kills with your sniper, then you've got to have Stopping Power. And then Ninja Pro, which is the new version of Dead Silence. And since I have a headset, it allows me to hear other people's footsteps much more easily. And that guy has terrible aim. So that's a good example of when Sleight of Hand Pro comes in handy. And also having a high sensitivity when you're sniping. I wouldn't recommend going as high as 9 or 10. I play on 7, which is kind of in between. But if your sensitivity is too low, then you won't be able to turn around quickly enough. But if it's too high, your shots will be uncontrollable, and you won't be able to hit your targets at all, especially if you're using a automatic weapon like an assault rifle or SMG. So now we've got 2 points, which is the main idea of domination. If you have all 3 points, then the other team will likely random spawn, which is not what you want, because then they may end up spawning behind you, and that will make you angry when you get shot in the back. Kill streaks wise, I'm using the Predator Missile, Harriers, and Pavlo. I haven't been using the Chopper Gunner as much lately, because people have been complaining about it if I've used it, and I also would rather have it do the work for me instead of being exposed while I go up in the Chopper Gunner. And while the Pavlo is up in the air, I also get to do work on the other team. There's a leg he killed there. I was already around the corner, and I think the host leaves again here. But when you're playing domination on Afghan, you want to hold the points A and B, because when the other team has the C point, they will tend to spawn out behind the cave. And for some reason, they love to run out through the cave, and it makes it so easy to pick them off. There are multiple spots that you can hang out around this area. It's lagging out a little bit here, but my air support still seems to get me kills. So I'm just waiting for the lag to stop. And the host leaves again. But in the area that I'm in right now, you can just keep moving around, picking a different spot after each kill. And these guys kept coming back time after time. So I kept picking them off. If the kills are coming to you, there's no point in moving on. And you'll see when the kills stop coming, uh, and they stop running through the middle, I get bored, and that ends up getting me killed. So this game really rewards the patient players, but you can't be too patient, you have to be smart. So after almost every kill when I'm sniping, I am moving to a different position. I'm never just sitting there with tunnel vision with my scope up, looking into the cave. You'll always notice I'm moving back and forth. And this will give you a huge advantage if someone comes back for a revenge kill, because you'll know if they're stupid, they'll come from the same direction. So you'll know where they're coming from, and they'll have no clue where you are. They'll just have a general idea, which really won't help them out that much. So here they've stopped coming through the middle. Maybe they've switched spawns, but I get bored, and like an idiot, I decide to run out looking for them. And this is how I get the majority of my deaths. Go for a cheeky no-scope, and I get knifed. That's how I get the majority of my deaths in this game. It's when I get bored. I'm not a very patient player, and when that happens, it gets me killed 9 times out of 10. But also, when I got knifed there, it's a bit of a disadvantage of having the tactical setup, which is what I use. That means that the right stick controls your bodily movements, like going into prone or crouching, and the B button allows you to knife, and it makes it very difficult to knife other people. So I don't knife very much, and in close quarter situations, it seems that the first instinct of people playing on default is to hit that right stick, and it makes me very angry. So if you want to go to tactical, I would recommend it, but you have to know the disadvantages of it. The game couldn't seem to find us a good host at all. But luckily, the game didn't end up actually lagging out. I notice that happens a lot, where it migrates the host, and then in between it says lost connection to server, which doesn't really make sense to me. But this host was actually good, so it didn't lag out. So here, this is kind of a dumb move again. I'm looking for them. Luckily, no one was spawning around C. They were all spawning in towards the back. And right now I'm trying to hide from the Harriers, actually. The other team has one up in the air, and I don't have any Stingers equipped. I would always recommend having a class with Stinger missiles or the Javelin, because if you don't have one, you will tend to be extremely frustrated if the other team has air support. And on that class, you would probably want to put Cold-Blooded, so the air support doesn't take you down quite as often. I swear I hit that guy with that shot, but whatever. So again, just trying to find where they are, just pick a spot, having a look around. Not staying in the same spot for too long. And this part here, again, they start spawning in the back and running through the caves. Up on top of the end of this plane, towards the back end, running up on that is great. Really, it gives you a great vantage point where I go right now. If someone's shooting at you and you duck behind cover, never run out in the exact same spot that you came from, because most of the time the guy shooting at you will have his red dot sight or his scope up right on that point, and the instant that you pop out, he's gonna nail you. This is just full of fail. Probably could have been a montage clip if I managed to hit these guys, but I'm not perfect. They've got Harriers up in the air again. I'm just hiding from them. There's not much you can do if you don't have missiles equipped. Sorry. Don't know why that didn't kill him. And this is for you guys that will say that I don't play the objective. It probably didn't make much of a difference in the game. But there you go. And the game's nearing an end, and I have to speed up this last little bit. I don't even get a kill or I don't die, so it doesn't make much of a difference. Anyway, thank you guys. Thank you, Persona Gaming, for sponsoring me, and I will see you guys later. Peace.